Wednesdays are just a Monday part 3, especially today because YouTuber PopularMMOs was arrested, Logan Paul was exposed, and his little mans Mike Ballsack and Trisha Paytas went off on each other. By the way, folks, to everyone who took Yurquil last year and is slowly coming out of their 2020 hibernation, I just want to let you know that things are slowly getting better. Irrelevant news. Chrissy Teigen has some huge news.
Bloomingdale's cancels Chrissy. Promo event is called off at the last minute over 2011 tweet telling Courtney Stodden to off herself.
This is some impressive work from Chrissy, folks. She literally did a speed run almost a decade ago to cancel herself now. And speaking of Joe Rogan's greatest fear, he had some thoughts to share in his latest podcast.
There's Olivia Munn.
Who's wearing the mask?
That is Gila Klein.
Olivia's not. She's a gangster. Look at her in the front row. Give me all the COVID.
I stand with Joe Rogan, folks, because I'm also very easily triggered by someone wearing a mask.
Look at this. Outside with a mask on and everyone's tested. That's
So
what's
good.
so dumb.
See, folks, while Hila has the freedom to do whatever the hell she wants, Joe Rogan also has the freedom to shame Hila for doing something absolutely harmless that has no effect on his life whatsoever. And that's why we have to appreciate Joe, folks. Getting triggered over the little things is what makes his show great.
And half of these people are the people that are like, I have a therapist and I'm all about mental health and I'm all about, and it's like, you know, the worst thing for your mental health is just finding more reasons to stay inside and isolate yourself and get drunk on this self-righteous indignation.
I am so grateful that Wendy Cummings is calling people out for being drunk on self-righteous indignation while also being completely plastered with Joe Rogan on self-righteous indignation. It's the little hypocrisies that really make the irony just delectable. And speaking of Joe Rogan, his good friend Dana White from the UFC had some thoughts about Triller and Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Oh my God! Don't even ask me about these idiots. Who gives a shit? Does anybody give a shit?
I guess they
You do? No, I don't give a shit what they think.
I think there's a chance that Triller, Dana White, and Jake Paul may be friends someday.
This idiot calls me every day, texts me every day. Please answer my call. Please talk to me. Why won't you talk to me? Because I don't give a fuck about you. Do your thing. Leave me alone. Go and do whatever it is you're doing.
This is incredibly sad, folks. To have to witness Dana White literally break a Guinness World Record for the harshest rejection in history is appalling. But not everyone hates the Paul brothers because comedian Crystalia is absolutely in love with them.
I really mean this when I say this. I am a big fan of the Paul brothers. I am a fan of Logan Paul, and I am a fan of Jake Paul.
Oh, when you think about it, folks, this makes absolute sense because Chris and Jake Paul share a lot of things in common, especially allegations.
I am a Jake Paul fan. No irony, no cap or whatever the It's so freaking lit.
I'd like to personally thank Crystalia, folks, for creating 5 seconds of audio that no matter how many times I listen to it, always sends a shiver up my spine. And speaking of the Paul brothers, Logan was recently exposed for allegedly editing a piece in his vlog to purposely make Jake look bad, and here's the unedited video.
Just got yourself banned from the event.
What do you mean?
They're not gonna let you come to the fight.
Okay, I don't give a f***.
But what about me?
You got this.
Okay.
Oh, you see, folks, it's just a nice interaction between the two brothers. Whoever is saying this is slandering the Pauls. There's no way this could be edited to make Jake look bad.
You just got yourself banned from the event.
What do you mean?
They're not gonna let you come to the fight.
Okay, I don't give a f***.
But what about me?
Look, folks, how is Logan supposed to maintain the good brother persona if we see Jake in a positive light? You can't have two good brothers, and one has to be bad. And in other Logan Paul-related news, his former assistant, Mike Ballsack, and Trisha Paytas went off on each other.
No idea who any of these people are to even talk about on Frenemies. I knew Mike from Logan. He seemed okay and trying to help people who struggle with mental illness. Looks like it was all a facade. Sad. I didn't mind him before, but these boys really have some hatred in them. Scary.
I mean, what else is Mike Ballsack's tiny, itty-bitty little heart supposed to be filled with instead of hate? Love? That's for nerds.
I liked Mike before he showed his clown with the pro/cons list, calling the girl he cheated on Lana with a gremlin, disgusting, ugly. He goes for the low blows, which shows his lack of intelligence right there. If he had some wit or tact, he could make respected arguments.
Hold on, Trisha. You can't just assume that Mike is dumb just because his face looks like a ball sack, okay? Mike, big smart. Mike has big brain. He is incredibly intellectualized. Kind of like a coloring book.
Trisha, here's some context. You desperately need it. The pro/cons list was a private private note meant to facilitate a conversation around us getting back together. A conversation still happening even tonight. You act as if you know nothing about how confusing and sometimes unsettling the end of a relationship can be.
Mike is indeed correct, folks. We should all have empathy with him, even though he is absolutely incapable of having empathy with anybody else other than himself. Narcissist got a narcissist.
Was it right of me to send it? Maybe not. Was it right of her to expose a private conversation? Absolutely not. Is it any of your business either way? F no. You know absolutely nothing about our relationship.
Mike's right, folks. Nobody knows anything about Lana and Mike's relationship outside of the pros and cons list, which makes Mike look like a very sane and rational person. Kind of like a toddler crying over spilled milk.
Regardless, I have no issue with you or how you and Ethan make money. I took issue with you lying and saying 3 out of 3 men on the show have essay allegations when you know that is 1,000% unbacked and has never even been claimed by anyone.
I am so glad that Mike Flapjack is finally flipping the script and addressing all these crazy rumors.
Lying about essay terribly demeans actual cases, and you should be extremely cautious when you do so. If, as you say, you always liked Mike. Let's have a conversation. Send me a DM and let's get on the phone. You can even record it and post it for your fans if you'd like.
Oh, this is so incredibly kind. Who would want to sit on a phone call with Mike Ballsack and have to hear hot air come out of one of his holes for 45 minutes?
For the record, they didn't say essay allegations. They said allegations, and they specifically mentioned the essay allegations Jake Paul's assistant made. It wasn't essay. You're putting that in their mouth. Appreciate that clarification. All love.
Folks, don't worry. Mike is sending love after completely misconstruing this entire situation, so everything's resolved.
I raise awareness and believe victims.
Look, folks, it doesn't matter if Trisha brought receipts to show what allegations that she was talking about, because everybody knows it's actually pretty easy to gaslight yourself out of a problem.
We both know who that threat is with, so I'm guilty of saying mean things on a podcast about someone who targeted me and my then girlfriend. Once again, doesn't support you falsifying claims of essay. This one wasn't okay, Trish. Hurtful and potentially criminal.
Oh, Trisha better watch out, folks. Mike Ballsack is gonna get the Twitter police on her case. And in other Paul brother news, KSI shared his thoughts on honorary Paul brother Bryce bathroom stall.
Austin McBroom versus Bryce.
I think Austin's winning out. I think Bryce thinks he's sick, but he's not.
Yeah.
Legit, get me in the ring with him. Nah, it's not fair.
And that's where it ended, folks. Bryce Hall did not respond at all like a clout goblin that he is.
KSI just said he would F me up in the ring. I wouldn't want to ruin the fight you've been dodging with Jake just because you lost to a TikToker, KSI. After I beat Austin, we can talk, buddy.
And that's where the conversation ended. Bryce bathroom stall said his piece, and everybody went home happy.
You're literally easy work. Who do you think you're talking to?
Don't worry, folks. KSI just forgot for a second that he was KSI, and he needed somebody to reaffirm it to him.
1, you're scared of Jake Paul. 2, you won to Logan by points on an Ishii call. 3, you're fat. Nobody is scared of you.
Thank goodness that we have Bryce bathroom stall, folks, ready to go for the lowest of the lowest blows.
1, not scared, just busy smashing music, dropping an album and selling out arenas. 2, still won and still undefeated. 3, and still would F you up easily. You're a Jake Paul wannabe. Go back to throwing it back on TikTok. You can't survive over here.
I know, folks, it's kind of confusing why people are beefing using bullet points, but trust me, this is just homework for them. How else are they supposed to milk a situation for attention?
1, you pay for features and you're always the ishiest verse. 2, undefeated, but you haven't fought me. 3, try and I'll slap the F out of that 8 head of yours.
I am always blown away by how amazing Bryce bathroom stall's insults are. My 3-year-old cousin could never come up with something like that.
Win your fight first, then we can talk.
Wasn't that the first thing that they said before they had this back and forth on Twitter? I guess the need for attention was too great.
Perfect.
This should definitely keep going for another 20 tweets of nothing.
You good, Bryce Hall? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Thanks for asking. Let's make it happen. Taylor versus Deji and me versus you after we drop our opponents June 12th, of course.
That was one of the most amazing and productive interactions that I've seen on social media. Kind of like a CD that gets stuck on the same spot. And in other Bryce Hall news, his good friend Taylor Holder got himself into some trouble for allegedly saying something he shouldn't have said.
As you can hear, clear as day, Taylor Holder is racist, man.
What, Taylor Holder, Bryce Hall's bestest of friends, is a racist? No, I refuse to believe that somebody who does all those quirky TikTok dances does anything of the sort.
He talking crazy like black ass motherfucker. That's the equivalent to the GER. I think he thinks that he's superior because he has white pigment.
Look, folks, regardless of what you hear Taylor Holder say on the tape, there has to be a perfectly good explanation, just like there's probably a pretty good explanation as to why Bryce Hall and Taylor Holder always have the exact same haircut.
Bruh, some people thirsty AF. Imagine lying, saying I'm racist, playing victim so hard, and having your boys create fake DMs with me to try to make me look even worse. Y'all lame AF. I'm dropping a video tomorrow night with all the facts.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out what their haircut is gonna look like next. And in other news, Tana Mojo gets called out.
I want to beat the the ish out of, fight Tana Mojo.
Folks, it is a terrific time to be a YouTuber, especially if you love getting your face caved in.
Down. I knew you'd show up for the clout.
I mean, if it's not for the clout, then why do it?
I don't want your clout, but I will beat your ass for a check.
Ah, yes, I forgot you can't eat clout. And in other news, a YouTuber, PopularMMOs, was apparently arrested recently.
PopularMMOs Pat arrested. Based on the opposing stories and no independent witnesses, both subjects were placed under arrest for domestic battery and transported to the PDTF without incident. Both individuals refused to complete any of the domestic violence paperwork or provide a written statement or have their injuries photographed, the report says.
Nothing like witnessing thousands of childhoods get immediately destroyed by one headline.
Don't believe everything you hear. I will need to address the false accusation soon. And Eleni, thanks for leaking my address and harassing me and Liz when she told you to stop posting about her and you refused. You are a terrible person. Okay, the last tweet was too much.
Well, that's a weird way to end a tweet. I wonder if it has anything to do with PopularMMOs literally doxing the person who shared the information about his arrest online.
Still haven't posted anything because it's so complicated. There are people I don't want to hurt with my response. I've never hurt anyone, but I'd almost rather take the hate myself. They never tell you how hard it will be to have a job in the public eye.
Wait, hold on, folks. Didn't he just say the allegations were false? Then why the hell does he even have to address it? And is it because his ex-wife liked the tweet that said he was not so good to women?
I do not use Twitter regularly, and when I was messaged about all this drama, I went on to see what was being said. By accident, I liked a tweet that is now being seen in a poor manner. Pat never, in the 10 years we worked together, laid a hand on me.
I am beyond belief, folks. I don't think I've ever seen a worse moment to have such a big oopsie.
I just want to say this because I feel Pat is being unfairly portrayed. I apologize for adding more smoke to the fire. I did not want to get involved, but do not believe everything you hear from people who know nothing of the situation.
Oh, I hate cliffhangers. And in other news, the No Jumper podcast had a surprise visitor and things went off the rails.
What idiot gave him the f***ing address in the first place? Like, obviously we just don't want you to just come here randomly.
Huh?
Keemstar, that makes sense.
Oh,
Keemstar
what?
Keemstar's not thinking that this is like a low-key place. It's unlike the store, you know?
Yeah, it's not the store, yeah.
Where is
That is f***ed up if somebody gave him the address, though.
Well, who could have seen that coming? I mean, just ask Nicole Caro Amlangato, who recently did a second collab with Raven Simone.
Let it out! This is the mukbang channel.
This is a treat.
Oh, excuse you.
Get it, babe!
Yeah! Yes. Wait, have you seen me fart?
Yes.
Raven Simone has seen me fart!
Hey, go for Nicole Caro. Another thing crossed off his bucket list.
Did you see when I pooped the chair?
Yes, Nick.
Oh my god.
You guys have to fart.
Did you fart on my channel?
The future is brilliant, folks. And now, palate cleanser. Anyway, defenders, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you like, will be another collab that Nicole Caro does with Raven Simone. Tell me in the comments down below what do you think. I want to know. Check out these videos right here. They're good too. Make sure you're drinking lots of water, not taking life too seriously, and staying away from stupid people. Have an amazing day, defenders. I love all of you. Peace.